the 20th set. That's in Surah Al-Mu'minun, verses 48 to 50. وَقَالَ الَّذِينَ فِي النَّارِ لِخَزَنَةِ جَهَنَّمَ. The people of hell say to the keepers of hell. Who are the keepers of hell? The angels that Allah has assigned under the leadership of Maalik, who is an angel, the keeper of hell. The people of hell say to these keepers, أُدْعُوا رَبَّكُمْ يُخَفِّفْ عَنَّا يَوْمًا مِنَ الْعَذَابِ. Tell your Lord to reduce our punishment for one day. One day. This is just too severe for us. Ask God, your Lord, to reduce the punishment for one day. To give us a break for one day. Notice, why don't they directly ask Allah? Why do they tell the keepers of hell, tell your Lord?
They're embarrassed.
They're severely embarrassed. One verse in the Holy Quran states, إِنَّهُمْ عَنْ رَبِّهِمْ لَمَحْجُوبُونَ. They're blocked. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has condemned them and cursed them. They don't have the right to speak to Allah. They don't have the right to even make that request from God. Or like you said, they're embarrassed. They spent their entire lives defying God. Now you come and ask Him? Another possibility is they still don't want to submit to God. I don't want to say, Ya Allah, forgive me. Their arrogance doesn't let them. Can you imagine what arrogance does? Allahu Akbar. قالوا أولم تك تأتيكم رسلكم بالبينات. Didn't the signs of God reach you very clearly? قالوا بلى. They said yes. قالوا فادعوا وما دعاء الكافرين إلا في ضلال. They will say, you guys pray. We're not going to pray on your behalf because we have not been given permission from God to intercede for you. In reality, they're asking for their intercession. Ask God to reduce the punishment from us. The keepers of hell will say no. God has not given us permission. You guys pray. You're on your own. They're making fun of them. But the kafirin, as the Quran states, their prayer will not go anywhere. Because they don't mean it. Number one, the sincerity is not there. Secondly, it's not accepted anymore. The 21st set of verses. Surah az-Zukhruf, verse 43. I'm sorry, Surah az-Zukhruf, which is chapter 43, verses 74 to 78, 4 verses. إِنَّ الْمُجْرِمِينَ فِي عَذَابِ جَهَنَّمَ خَالِدُونَ. The mujrimeen, the evil, corrupt criminals, will be in the punishment of hell for eternity. خالدون. لا يفتر عنهم وهم فيه مبلسون. The adhab does not reduce for them. It's constant, severe pain. It's not reduced for them.
What verse number was it again?
This is Surah az-Zukhruf, verses 74 to 78. لا يفتر عنهم وهم فيه مبلسون. وَمَا ظَلَمْنَاهُمْ وَلَكِنْ كَانُوا هُمُ الظَّالِمِينَ. Allah says, and I'm not oppressing them. They did this to themselves. وَنَادَوْا يَا مَالِكْ لِيَقْضِ عَلَيْنَا رَبُّكَ. Finally, they will reach such a state of despair and loss of hope in that severe punishment. They will call on Maalik, the keeper of hell. لِيَقْضِ عَلَيْنَا رَبُّكَ. Let your Lord just kill us. That's it. We can't stand this anymore. The humiliation, the pain. Let Him just annihilate us. He will respond to them. He will tell them, no, you're staying here. You're not going anywhere. One hadith, one tafsir states, He will reply to them after 1,000 years. So they make a request to the keeper of hell. Ya Maalik, O Maalik, please ask God to annihilate us. He will ignore them. After 1,000 years, He will tell them, no, you guys are stuck here. لَقَدْ جِئْنَاكُمْ بِالْحَقِّ. We showed you the truth. You guys are intent on rejecting the truth. So it's really sad what happens to the fate of these people, but they brought about this fate to themselves. See, Allah says, we've not oppressed them. They've caused this fate for themselves. By the way, speaking of Maalik, the keeper of hell, I'll share with you this interesting hadith. There is one hadith that states Allah will command a group of people to be taken to hell. But Allah will tell Maalik قل للنار, say to the fire of hell, لا تحرقي لهم أقداما, don't burn their feet, because they would walk to the masjid. Don't burn their hands, because they would raise it in dua. Don't burn their tongues, because they would recite Quran. And don't burn their faces, because they would do wudu. Maalik is confused. He looks at them because they're in hell now, but God has told him, don't let these areas burn in their body. So he tells them, Ya ashqiya, you wretched, miserable people, what did you do to end up here and you've done all these things? Yes, Allah has reduced the punishment for you because He's asked me not to let these body parts burn. But how'd you end up here then? They will tell him, Kunna na'malu li ghayrillah. We used to work for other than God. Riya, showing off. Yeah, he'd walk to the masjid, but not for Allah. For status, manipulation. He would read Quran, but not for Allah. He would do dua in front of people, but not for God. Because they did that, Allah will reduce the punishment. Because in the end, the hand did pray to God. So Allah says to Maalik, don't let their hands burn. Don't let their faces burn. But they're still here in hell. فَقِيلَ لَهُمْ خُذُوا ثَوَابَكُمْ مِمَّنْ عَمِلْتُمْ لَهُ. Allah will tell them, go get your reward. So in hell, you're not going to burn like those others, but you're not going to heaven. You do not work for me. Why should I take you to heaven? Go get your reward from those whom you worked for. You worked for those political leaders in the dunya, yalla, go and get your reward from them. You worked for money, go get your reward from the dollar sign, not from me. You worked for power, go get it from power, not me. I'm not going to give you the reward of heaven. You never worked for me. Why should I give you the reward?
So how can you make sure that when you're doing stuff, your intentions are pure?
You constantly have to check yourself, remind yourself, and challenge yourself. Reminding yourself means before every act that you do, literally ask yourself mentally, why am I doing this? Is it really for Allah, or because of a desire that I have, or this or that? Or is it really because I believe it is the right thing? It's a many people go about weeks and months and years of activities without really asking themselves that question. Number two, challenge yourself. Put yourself, Imam Ali says, the believers are those who put themselves at crossroads. You've got two paths ahead of you. Challenge yourself with the one that your desire doesn't want. Just to prove to yourself that I am doing it for Allah. Challenge yourself. Once in a while, force yourself to do something that you don't really want. But it is the right thing to do. Just to show yourself that you are there for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I'm not going to follow my desire. Sometimes you just have to challenge yourself. You know, like the story of that, great Marja and Najaf who kissed the hand of another scholar. And his followers, they went crazy on him. What you did is socially inappropriate. You're the Grand Marja. You go and you kiss someone's hands. That's humiliation. So on and so forth. He told them, because of the respect that I got from the people, I felt so proud of myself. I felt so high. Suddenly I remembered, wait a minute, that's the shaitan's trap. So I wanted to teach my nafs a lesson. I told myself, my nafs, look, next time you get excited like that, I'm going to kiss his feet. So you better shut up and not do that again. He's talking to him, his nafs. So it's like, I kissed his hand to shatter my ego in front of the people. See, that's an exercise. Can you do that? Now that's not your test, you'll have a different trial in life. But can you do something like that? Where you shatter your ego, you shatter your desire, you shatter what your nafs is craving from you. That which is haram that it's craving, or that which is, the arrogance, you shatter it. That way you always make sure that you're truly on the path of Allah. But it requires constantly monitoring yourself.
So for example, like dua command, whenever I come, I like to remind people, because sometimes when I get reminded, I get excited. So I'll post that on social media, but what if I convince myself it's for, what if I'm trying to show, but I'm not trying to show off, but what if like, it's subconsciously there, like I'm trying to show people on.
Take a break. Maybe for 2-3 weeks, don't let anyone what you're doing. Just to remind yourself that, look, I am doing that so the people get motivated and encouraged. Otherwise, I have no interest. It's me and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So sometimes you just have to do that. So you find that balance. Yes, sister.
I had either read or heard a story of an Ayatollah when there were people were waiting for him, and his son was looking for him. Where is dad? He found him cleaning the toilet. He goes to him.
Subhanallah.
Why are you? There are people waiting, thousands of people waiting for you. He says, that's the reason I came to wash the toilet, clean the toilet, because I felt something.
Exactly.
There are so many people. So I reminded myself that that's what I'm for.
Subhanallah. See, that's a practical way to teach your nafs a lesson. You reminded me of another marja who shortly before he died, one day after leading the jama'ah prayers, he got up and he basically folded his dishdasha, his garment, and there was no basket back then in the masjid. He went around collecting money for the poor or for a charitable cause. Like imagine a marja standing with his garment and like literally collecting money from the people. The people were shocked. So after this whole thing was over, his followers went to him. They told him, we are doubting your sanity. You, the respected Grand Marja, you've been so wise and appropriate all your life, you come and do something like that? It's mish min sha'nak. It's not appropriate for you to do that. You have so much power. You just tell one of us, we'll donate whatever you want. Why did you do that? Look at his reply. See, that's how you train your nafs. He said, I have given everything that I had for Allah in my life, except my face water. They say in Arabic, ma'il wajh. Face water means what? Dignity. Except my dignity. I've never had to sacrifice my dignity. People always kiss my hands and I'm so respected. I've given from my time, energy, health, whatever you name it, I've given it to God. But my dignity, I never had to sacrifice it. I wanted to give my dignity to Allah before I die to prove to myself I'm willing to give anything to Allah. I purposely did that. See, that's how you train your nafs.
But so let's say you put like on your WhatsApp status.
Yeah, that's okay. Encourage the people. But if you feel every once in a while you start feeling good about that, then you need to take a break.
Like you said, you just want to motivate your friends.
That's okay. That's completely okay. But there are some people who start off like that, then they get carried away. They start enjoying, I'm getting attention, people are talking about me, encouraging them. It's pride that overtakes you. So if the person feels traces of that happening, you got to put an end to that. Take a break, do something else. Teach yourself a good lesson.